So we've actually done a lot of things, and for me, I'm really happy because you guys are learning different ways, different tools, different approaches to set up your validator node, and these are really good because um, we are not just teaching you, we are also showing you how you can we are also showing you different tools, different ecosystem, different communities out there who are working to bring one or two innovation around Ethereum to streamline the onboarding process for validators. And there are quite a lot of them. So this bootcamp is also, exposing you or showing you some of the things that are obtainable and how you can easily become a validator with our by utilizing all of these innovations or tools from different ecosystem or contributors within the Ethereum space. So today, I'm sure we must have heard about EthPillar, and if you've not heard about it before, it's basically a tool, more like a terminal user interface, uh, kind of tool that tends to streamline the process of setting up your node. And by running a simple command, it bootstraps or it abstracts most of these complexities, and especially uh, so for the last class you guys saw how Stereo uh, GUI basically allows you to just pick or select your clients, and all of the background, all of the configuration and other things that you would have to do if you're doing the manual setup. You didn't actually go through those processes. So you just select the clients that you want, and it then runs all of those commands for you just by selecting or by clicking buttons. So EthPillar is a one-liner tool. So it just helps you to install your clients as well. But it's not as okay. So we'll go through the process, and we are going to see the configurations that are obtainable, or the client pairs that you can set up using EthPillar. So so I think I will just begin by sharing my slides. So I'll walk us through EthPillar, how we can set it up before we go into the practical. So so we don't just like spend much time talking while we are meant to actually do the the main work. So basically I'll share this slide, but I'm going to be as fast as I can. So I'm going to share my screen now. So let me know if you can see my screen. All right. So um, EthPillar basically helps you to set up your Ethereum node effortlessly, and it is. I feel like a lot of beginner can easily find this tool friendly because you it's just by running a simple command, and then you have a dialogue that you interact with. So you don't have to like start looking for different commands that you are going through all of those documentation from those clients. So it's just like I said before, it's a one-liner tool. So it's a one-liner installation, and it gives you zero headache. So just by running a simple command, it bootstraps, your entire Ethereum staking environment with just one line in your terminal. So EthPillar handles the complex configuration automatically, and it is optimized for Ubuntu. So it works flawlessly on Ubuntu 24.04 LTS, and it's compatible with Debian, Linux, Mint, and Ambien. So all the pre-configuration, those configuration that you'd have to do, like for instance for the systemd service file, port forwarding, opening of port, and all of those things, you can actually do it from using EthPillar. So, and it is basically designed for Ethereum. So it's a time more like a text user interface. So it just you run the command and then you have the TUI. Um, and you can also set up Lido CSM on it. You can set up both testnet and mainnet. You can set your node on both testnet and mainnet using EthPillar. So what are the features? Things you can do. You can in terms of monitoring, you can integrate Grafana. It's very easy. MEV boost. You can also, so this is more like a way for you to maximize your reward for on Ethereum. So it's just for you to like, there are some configurations that you do so that once your block, if you want to validate block, you know those configuration will make it in such a way that you can either um, hand over those tasks to another uh, to someone else who has a higher capacity to validate your block, so maximize your reward. So it's just a way. MEV boost is just like a way to set up your node so that it properly handles validations in the blockchain. So there are some there are some transactions that you have to validate by yourself, and some you need to like issue out for people with higher capacity to do for you. So that's basically the idea around. So I think subsequently we'll need to talk more about MEV boost, but that's basically in a nutshell, in a layman understanding. That's the picture you should have um, in your mind. And then you can also use it to troubleshoot some issues. So you'll also see uh, just the same way you monitor your log. So there are other things to it that you can also do using EthPillar, and it is easier for you to upgrade your softwares like your existing clients. It's also very easy to do. So you just go to the admin dashboard or the administrative section of the from the terminal, from the interface. Then you can just upgrade your node. So these things are very easy to do. So there are some nodes that you can set up actually, and I'm going to walk you. We are going to see the options available. So you can set up a solo node you have that if you're willing to stake your 32 ETH, you can set up your full node that's basically running just the consensus clients and execution clients. So the full node, you don't participate in, you don't have, it won't install your validators clients. So just the execution client and consensus client. So you can also set that for validators only, and that one will just focus on execution clients. So, but basically you're connecting to an existing consensus client and execution client. You can also set up a Lido node, that's the Lido CSM. with 2.4 if you can set up Lido CSM, and you can also set up a follower node. So it's more like if you have your own node running and maybe something just happens, you can easily set up a failover rather, a failover node. So it's more like a backup node. So it will then help your bring up your node back on time quickly. Then system requirement, we've talked about all of these, and I'm sure it's not new to us. Okay, so and this part, so we are going to work. I'm going to run through this process in practice, so you would see all of these steps, right? So I'm also trying not to spend too much time on this slide. Then in terms of, okay, I think we've not really talked much around client diversity, but it's very important for you to properly okay, to choose. Okay, I think we've talked about it, but maybe not in detail, and subsequently we can also talk more around client diversity. But the idea here is that a lot of times people go for Geth and Prism. So I think before more attention started coming into client diversity. So the idea behind client diversity is, so some people just prefer to run Get or Get and Prism, while there are still other clients like, or maybe Get and Nethermind, while there are still other clients. I won't really call them minority clients now, because they've gained a lot of people now have started using these clients, unlike how the situation was um, some years ago, or a few months ago. So the idea is that a lot of people shouldn't center, like, the client they should be running shouldn't be 50% should not be just Get, for instance. So there are other execution clients too that you can run, not really Get. And in terms of consensus clients too, not really neither mind. You could also run other ones that are, so there's a map that shows the statistics of all of these things, but the idea is to have those clients diverse, share, let the proportion be even amongst all the existing clients. So client diversity is very important, because in terms of attack, it tends to make the network really decentralized, so that it doesn't get you, in case one client goes down, other clients will still be able to sustain the network. So something around that. So the in terms of network security, yeah, it strengthens the network resilience against bug and attacks. So minority clients also. So EthPillar also supports neither Nimbus and Teku pair, and Nimbus Teku consensus and Nethermind Besu execution clients pairs. So it also considers client diversity, right? So that's basically the idea around it, and it helps in the decentralization. So yeah, it's basically fundamental to Ethereum's core principle and long-term success, because if we have to affect the so that it could bring a client down, but other clients will still have, the power to still participate in, to still sustain the network. So that's basically things around client diversity. And so if you can also search coin cashew. There are other Ethereum staking communities out there. So, so I'm going to open Coin Cashew. That's That's like the where you find the where you find more details around this. So there's the EthPillar section. Sorry, this is not loading. I think this is lagging. So basically, when you come to this part of the documentation, you're going to see. Okay, so you're going to see the command that you can use to set up EthPillar. So that's using the one-liner installation. So basically, just copy this link. Hope hope we are all following. I hope I'm not too fast. Are we following?
Yeah, we are following. I'm
Okay,
following.
awesome, awesome. So I'm going to open my terminal, and this is kind of slow, and I don't have much running. Okay. So basically, you get the command from the documentation. I think I should also share this, also share the link on the call. So from there, you get the command that you can just run. So yeah, once you hit enter, you can then hit enter again to continue, and then enter your password. So it's going to go to the EthPillar. So there's the GitHub repo that has all the files. So it's going to get it, and by just typing, and then do some configuration by just typing EthPillar. You have the command accessible to like set up your to then help you set up your node. Okay, so basically what I did was, maybe I should just go through this process again. So just run this command. It's going to bring out this, hit enter, then
So please, can you paste the command on the chat?
okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So basically once you run that command and hit enter, it's going to clone the this is the repository. So it's going to clone, this is the repository, it's going to clone it, and so now if you just type EthPillar it would, okay. So I think it hasn't properly, I don't know why it's okay. I think the idea is that it's not recognizing it here. So I just opened another terminal and hit uh and typed EthPillar and it went through. So sometimes you could just basically refresh or open another terminal. That's like if you're having that, if it tells you EthPillar not install and you've checked and you've seen this, if you see this folder present, you know you have it there. So you just open your terminal and type EthPillar, then it's going to display this. If you don't have your node, if you've not used it before, it's going to like display this for you to pick the client that you want to install. Otherwise, you would see a menu, a dialog that will be asked to navigate. Sorry, sorry, if you're not talking or asking question, you can mute. So basically, we are go. Let's go for Nethermind, Nimbus Nethermind client pair. So you hit enter. It's going to install the validator. So yeah, I'm going to enter my password. So instead of going to the official documentation, copying those commands and pasting, this EthPillar is doing all of those things for you. So it will to install all required dependencies, get the file, and yeah. So as you can see from the log, these are like all the dependencies that it has to install. Yeah. So now you're going to like select the network. So let's go with hoodie. So you select two. If it's mainnet, you go for one like that. So yeah. So basically, let's do for the solo staking. That's because we want to stake 32 ETH on hoodie network. So I'll go with one. Then okay, so now you would need to paste your Ethereum address. So I think I can copy this one. Okay, so you paste it, you confirm if what you've pasted is what you're seeing. If that's it, then yes. Then you hit enter. So now it's downloading in the mind. And if you have any question, feel free to also ask while while this process is ongoing.
Okay, Jim, I want to ask questions.
Okay.
Okay, the last time we did a steering, then today we are doing EthPillar. So I want to know in a situation where we have to opt for steering or opt for EthPillar.
Okay. So for me, I think it just depends on you, what you want. If you, because as you can see, I'm still for this now. This is like the interface. It's still basically it's up to you. It depends on your personal preference. If you feel like you like this interface and you want to be interacting with this while setting up your node, you can. This is actually not the main interface. This is the interface for the installation process and everything. But as soon as you're done with all of these, there is a dialog box that you would see, and then use to interact with your node or your validator. So in terms of like the look and feel, it depends on you. So if you feel like this is good, fine. If you feel like Stereo is better, that's okay. But other than that, another thing you should consider is that for for EthPillar, there are, as you can see, I think I from the okay, let me go to the official documentation. So as you can see, the client pairs that are available. Yeah, you can see the client pairs, Nimbus and Nidamine and Teku Besu. So, and other than this, you can also set up Lido CSM. Where is it? Yeah, you can set up Lido CSM. So, but Stereo offers more features for you. So you have like range of different clients pairs to like pick from. So that could be another reason for you to decide on which one you want to do. And Stereo, if you have your server, let's say you have your server running, you can use Stereo with your server, and you have your installation. But for EthPillar, you need your hardware, just like this system that I'm using now. So I need to like use this. So it's not like they are.
Okay, so in EthPillar, we may not be able to use EthPillar when we are on visual.
No, you can set, if for instance now this system, this system now is not on any cloud or any virtual environment. It is my own power supply that is powering it, my own internet that is powering it. So, but what I'm saying is, for each pilot, even if you have your server, I mean for Stereo, even if you have your server elsewhere, you just need that your server credential to use the Stereo. But for EthPillar, you need to run that command in a terminal, and that terminal has to be in a system or a server, and that server can be a virtual environment somewhere. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say.
It's a little bit convoluting, Sha, because I'm asking if, as in this case, let's assume that now we have the required hardware that is needed for us to run this. Then we go for a parallel. Then, if we don't have the required hardware to do this, then we have a VPS that we can do this. Okay, something like we can use Temus terminal to log into our VPS and then run this instead in the Temus terminal and then see achieve it.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you watch the video. So during the class, the last class, you saw Casey Pele entered the username, the IP of his server on Stereo GUI when after downloading the file from the Stereo website.
Yeah, I
That's
watched the video. Yeah, I
yeah,
followed it.
that's like the process. That's how you do it. So, but for EthPillar, you need to run it in a terminal. I don't know if
Okay.
you get.
Yeah. No problem. We can continue. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So we've downloaded Nethermind and Nimbus. So now it's running checkpoint sync, and this is the URL that's using. So yeah, so just okay, so we can actually open another terminal, and the process is not yet done, but I just want to like show you guys something. Okay, so I'll just type file, and so basically this is the dialogue that I was talking about. So this is basically what you have. You can then interact with the process. So as you can see, excuse me.
Okay, sorry, sir. Can you paste this command? Just help us paste this command on the chat so that we can listen.
Okay, yeah, you're in line. So I think we should. It's let me see. Terminal. Yeah, I think you're also somewhere here. So, but yeah. So this is basically how the interface would look like after you've like if you want to interact with your validator.
Okay,
And
sorry, sir, for cutting you, sir. Hello, sir.
okay,
Okay, yes, sir. So the last instruction you pasted that you're trying to, yes, the last instruction actually. I got to a point where you showed me, would you like to start thinking now? So,
yeah, okay.
so
So, so yeah, you can you yeah. I think it asks you to type Y, right? Or Y slash.
Y or N? Yes, sir.
So type Y and hit enter. So I don't know why mine is, but yeah. So this syncing process, we can also like continue the. We can also continue from here. I'm going to show us how we can do that. So as you can see, the execution layer client is offline. Consensus layer client is also offline, and these are the client pairs. If it was Teku and Bisu, you see it here. So this one is just from CoinCashu. So let's say we want to view log might not really give us what we are looking for because we don't have like our client set up properly. So but let's go to system administration and see. So so this is the part here I was saying if you want to update it while you can do it from here. If you also want to uninstall your node, you can do it from here. If you want to configure auto start, so let's say if your system goes off and then you come back on, the the idea here is for it to configure a system this service file so that your node automatically starts when your system comes back on, like when it boots. So without really like starting it yourself. So but let me check this log again. This is taking still taking time. But is there any person who is following this process whose setup is already ahead?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actually, I just sent a screenshot now. I got to a point where it's saying generator import validator keys or
Yeah,
let your node sync. So that's where I am at the moment. I sent a
awesome,
screenshot now.
awesome. Yeah. So you're already ahead. So if you want to set up a do you have up to 32
It what?
hoodie like testnet token?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome. So now you
Okay.
can
I used Holiski because I don't yeah, I use Holiski.
okay, do you have 32 eats Holiski?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. I'm even thinking if you could share your screen and then we'll just walk through your own setup instead. What do you think?
Okay, there's no problem, sir.
Awesome, awesome. All right. So yeah, that would also make sense. I mean, I'm happy because you're already ahead. So so yeah, I think that's good. And I also encourage every one of us to try these things. It's not rocket science. Everybody can do it. So yeah, so I'll stop sharing and then you pull up your screen. Yes. All right. So basically, I think this was where I showed you guys last. So it will sync and do all of this process. So now it has installed. This is like the installation summary. You're going to see it. It's solo stake, the solo staking node, and we have Nidaman installed, Nimbus installed. This is the network and a couple of other information. So now, hope you can still see. Okay. So now it's asking you if you want to sync. That's actually what he asked. So just say yes. So now if so it's also asking if I want the node to if I want to configure the node to auto start. I've explained that already. So I want that to happen. So now because we want to stake, we also want because we want to stake our 32 ETH, we need to generate the validator key. So you have the option to either generate or import. So the idea for import is if you have your validator running somewhere and then you now need to maybe something happens to that setup, but you have your key stored somewhere, you can import that key on another machine to continue to bring back your validator online. And so that's like the idea behind importing your validator key. So so I'm going to click enter. So what they are saying is all of these things I can also do it from the dialog box. So I'm going to click yes. So yeah, you guys were also introduced to deposit CLI in the previous session. So it's still the same process. So this deposit CLI would have your deposit data and also helps you to it will help you to deposit your ETH. And I think after this step now we need to like generate the key store files. You can also check the folder. You can check your folder so you can see the file. This file was just created now, and if you open it you see your deposit data. But okay, now we don't have the key key store file. So but yeah, let's just proceed. So let's generate a new validator key for this setup because I don't have anyone I want to import. So because this is a phase where so basically when you have your consensus clients, validate execution clients and validators clients, you're interacting. The validators client is more like the client that you easily interact with because that's where you as a user you easily interact with. So because of that, you need to your interaction towards the network, the Ethereum network, can can be vulnerable. So it's ideal you just go offline to do some of these things, right? To generate your key and uh, it's ideal. The idea here is that it's ideal you do these things offline, right? So, but I don't want to go offline because I'm on a call. So I'll just continue this process. Now I want to we are using hoodie. Click enter and continue. So they are still telling us that we need to just basic warning, I would say. So now they are asking for us to enter our address. So I'm going to copy my address again.
Okay. Hello, sir. So at this point where you're saying enter your withdrawal address. So
Yeah. So
is it the
copy.
same address we pasted initially for the staking?
Yes. You
Okay.
can basically there you can actually use any address, but it's just the address that will be receiving reward.
Okay. But I can change it, right? I can change it. But it
Yes,
must be an EVM compatible address.
definitely.
Okay.
So I'm going to hope you guys can still see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I just pasted the address now. And so I think the new proposal they now said we can stake up to 2048 ETH as a maximum effective balance. Right. So but we are just going to do for 32 ETH. So how many validator key? So I'm only running one. So I'll enter one. So depending on the number of validators you want to run, right? So you can put the number there. So for this, I'll need to enter a password. So this password will be used to encrypt or decrypt um, the data. Like we're going to see these things in real time, right? So I'm going to use a very simple password. Please, if you're because this is basically testnet and um, it's nothing serious, just for educational purposes, right? So that's why I'm making all of these things look like it's not a concern. 9, 10, 12, we had 4. So yeah, once you enter the password, wait for the next process. Also, if you're also running this process from your end and you're having any issue, you can raise it up or ask questions. Okay. So now it's going to generate our seed phrase. So I'm going to copy this. I think I have. Let me paste this address first. Might be needing it eventually. So I'm going to copy this. I've copied it. Let me paste it somewhere here as well. So you need to keep this thing safe and do not share it with anyone. So I'm going to paste it here, hit enter. So it's going to clear my clipboard, but it's not a problem. And then create the key stuff file. So we also look say we see now we now have this. When you open it, you have your validator key, but right now it's empty. So after this process, you now have your so now it's creating our deposit data.json file. Okay, let me go to this place, I think. Yeah. So right now we now have the files. If you check, you see as these things are happening on the log, we are seeing it in real time. So that's basically the idea. So if you're running more than one validator, you'll see your key stuff file will be times the number of validator that you're running. So and if you want to deposit, you need to deposit all of them. So that's basically the idea. So it's telling us that this is the path where the validator key is located, right? So that's the idea. So now, yeah. So just like I was saying, so that password is what I would use now, right, to decrypt this data. So entering the password now.
Okay, that's the 12 character modern. The 12
The password has to be more than 12. You can mix alphabet and numbers. So, but it has to be at least 12 characters. So this process should okay, yeah. So now, yeah, it's starting our validator. Okay. So now there after you run through this process, the next step is for us to upload our deposit data file. And to do that, we need to go to the launchpad for Hoodie. If it's Holisky, there's a Holisky launchpad. If it's the mainnet, you also see the mainnet launchpad. So we need to go to this. Let me copy the link.
I want to ask a simple question. No, sorry for interrupting.
Okay. No, it's fine.
The
Go.
last password that we input, was it the one that you set when you were asked to set a password for the key store?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So now we are trying to like deposit. So when I was also learning some of these things, this page was also another very useful, um, more like another useful material for you to understand, like have a general overview of staking. So we can see that we are on Hoodie. If you want to switch to mainnet, you can do that from here. So if you're thinking of becoming a validator, you just click on that link and you see a lot of things. So this is giving you like a general overview. So if you're new and you're just looking for something that will just give you a general overview, this is for me. I find this launchpad helpful as well because it tells you a lot of things. It's more like a checklist for your setup. So but we want to actually participate. We want to stake. So right now I've been trying to like. So I noticed that Hoodie. It seems like they've reduced the mining reward. This I don't. It shouldn't have taken this much. Even though I try to like increase it. So I'll try to see if I have other wallets that has up to 32. But right now I'm still minting. I'm still mining this. So let me see. So yeah, basically back to the launchpad from the terminal. These are like the steps that we need to take. So go to the launchpad, upload, do all the check-ins and agree to terms, follow whatever prompt or instructions that will be asked, upload our deposit data file, then connect the launchpad to the wallet, review acceptance, complete the deposit, wait for the validator to become active. So all of these things, right, are the things that would need to follow. So, but we let me quit this, and I want to also show you guys some things here. So now, as we can see, we have Hoodie on. So this is my username. This is the block currently. So and so we can see that this has changed unlike before. So we have our clients and a couple of other things. So we can also view logs. Okay. And we can also check, we can view logs. This is basically the log. We can also, let me open this EthPillar again on another terminal. Okay. While this is still loading, let's just go to the launchpad. Click on become a validator. Okay. So you need to, it's important to go through all of these things, right? So for better understanding, and it also, open your eyes to some things that you also need to know. So I'm just checking, accepting, agreeing. So now I have neither mind and I have Nimbus. So as you can see from, okay, let me type it Pilot. So this is the client bed. Then yeah, so I think I still have it here. Just copy the address, paste it. Then so I'm not trying to like compound. So I just want to run the 32 for one validator and it's on Linux. I used CLI, I didn't use, so there's Wagyu. Wagyu is another tool, more like it has a GUI that you can use to generate your keys. So but what we used was the CLI, that's the uh, yeah, the CLI basically. So and yeah, this is actually what happened when you're using this. So all of these processes, right? So these things are important. That's why the launchpad, I find it as very useful material or very useful resources. So right now, let me try to see if I can, let me check other accounts that I have. If I have the one that has the 32 it on hoodie.
Okay, as we're going through that, I have a question again.
Okay.
In this launchpad, we are generating our key pairs, right?
No,
Our validator key.
no, you are not generating it. It's more like it's telling you that this is the step. It's more like you did something and then you've done it already. So the launchpad is just making sure it's more like what you are selecting or what you are choosing from the launchpad is the options that
Okay,
you follow.
the launchpad is
So it's more
just
like it's
a
telling you
reconfirmation of all the process that you took.
exactly,
Okay,
exactly
thank you.
until you deposit. Yeah. Is it the link to the launchpad that you're asking of?
Yes, yes, a link to the launchpad, sir.
All right, let me get this from you.
Uh, yes, sir, is it advisable to run this locally on our system, sir?
Yeah, if you have the enough storage, you can actually do that.
Won't you like continuously take up storage space?
So you can just do it the for the knowledge, and as soon as you're done setting it up, you can uninstall.
Okay,
Yeah. So
okay,
you can also uninstall from the terminal, like from using EthPillar.
okay.
here, so you just go to the system administration, you hit enter, then it's going to show you this part where you can install. So as soon as you hit enter, yeah, it's going to remove all the service files, all your initial configuration is going to remove it, remove the clients that have been installed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So, okay, I've also sent the link. Sorry,
Okay, I missed this. What prompt brought about the system management?
what prompt? Sorry, I didn't
As
get the question.
in, as in, what brought about the system management tab that I just saw now?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that part is if you want to uninstall your node, like if you feel like you don't have enough space, like maybe after, or maybe you just want to run your node for a while just to follow through the process, you can do that and use that uninstall feature in the system administration section the of EthPillar
Okay,
to.
yeah, I'm asking what are we to input to prompt it and to make it come out.
Okay, no, once you type EthPillar, let me go back.
Okay, thank you.
So okay, let me just start afresh. So because you've installed EthPillar, as soon as you type EthPillar on your terminal, it runs, it brings out the dialog box for you to interact with. So I don't know why my terminal is taking time to load. So but once you type it, it's going to bring this dialog box where you'll be seeing all of these things. So you can then go to, you see the system administration part here. So as soon as you click on it, it will show you another, it's going to load this section or this part. So just go down. So these are like different things that you can do in the system administration page or dialog. So you can update your system, restart, shut down, view the software version, view CPU, all of these things, right? And you can also uninstall your node. So once you click enter, it will prompt you if you really want to do it, and if you say yes, then it's going to uninstall it for you. If you want to reinstall, you do it here. If you want to override environment variable, you do it. If you want to know about Pilar, just basic information, you also get it from here. Update it Pilar and a couple of other things. You can still go back to the main menu, and it's going to load all of these things. So you can see your, okay, let me go back to this terminal and do it afresh. So just type EthPillar and hit enter. So it will bring the menu. So you can view log. So if you click view log, this is what you'll be seeing, as you can see right now. So I'm going to, if I increase this thing now, the CPU, what's it called, let me, so you see this is basically how it looks. So this one is for the Nimbus Beacon node. This one is for Nethermind, and this one is for the Nimbus Validator client. So these are like the things you'll be seeing. So right now it's syncing, and this is the slot. Um, this pairs now, there are 30 pairs. So backfill is, it's syncing, right? And then this is like the time and a couple of other important information you would see from the log. So this is basically how it works. So if you prefer this interface to that of Stereo, then you can work with this, and it's that easy. If you prefer that of Stereo, fine, you can also work with that. So basically that's so for execution client. Now once you come to execution client section, you hit enter, it's going to show you things you can do from on your execution client. So you can view execution log, you can start your execution client, stop your execution client. So if I stop this execution client now, you see, let me enter password. If I stop the execution client, you see from the log, you see that it actually stopped. So I can't, I'm thinking of how to go up. But you see now the execution client has stopped. See, execution client not in sync. So so now I can start it back. I can click start execution client, and let's go back to the log. So you see now the execution client has started. So and if you see now it's now working, all of these are now working together, right? So that's the idea. You can do all of your configuration here. You can resync execution clients like that. So let's go back. So that's the idea. You can stop all the clients, you can start all the clients, you can restart all the clients. So plugin is, they are more like add-ons into the setup. So if you want to run, so let's say I have a setup already and I want to, so let's say I have the vanilla setup. I have my execution client, consensus client already running. I can set up the Lido CSM validator, and this Lido CSM would use the existing execution client and consensus client that I have, um, which are the Nethermind and the Nimbus, and then set up the Lido CSM validator on the existing execution client and consensus client. So that's so these are like add-ons, they're like additional functionalities, right, that you can achieve from your setup. So toolbox is basic things around your settings. It's more like configure other configurations too. Let's say you want to check your ports. Okay, but you can check your its duty. So right now I've not even stake, but let me, this will take some time, but maybe not much time though, but oh, 240, 840. Wow. Okay, so what will happen is, okay, let me go back to toolbox. So I think we'll need to continue this session. What will happen is I will get the 32 ETH Hoodie testnet, and we'll continue this setup. So we'll just focus our next session. This next session with me will now be on to deposit and also complete this process using EthPillar. So but let me just show you how you can, so you can check for peer count. You can also check your ports. So I know we've talked about port forwarding and stuff like that. So you can check to see if your ports are open. So right now, so the default is 9,000, and that's for 3033 is for the uh, execution client. So I when we were talking about how you can maximize your reward and also troubleshoot some issues, I made mention of these ports. So right now, this is my IP, but the my ports are not open, right? So even when you so me now we're having issues in terms of um, in terms of properly validate, like participating in consensus, I'll be having issues because my ports are not properly opened. So you can also type this on the, so open ports, nothing, they are not open. So, well, I think we're already running out of time, but more details we are going to like continue, and I'm going to like show us all of these things in details. But basically, this is the log, and that's basically how you can set up your EthPillar. So in our next class, we'll do the setup, we'll do the deposits, and also show us how we can ensure our nodes are up and running. So I think that's all for today. If you have any question, you can ask quickly, or you need further clarification on anything, just do it swiftly. So since there are no questions, Nathaniel, how is the progress? Casey, are you trying it from your end as well?
Yes, yes, I am, sir. I am, sir. So, like I said initially, I got to a point where, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay,
Okay, yeah, I got.
your memory, right? The capacity.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, I have a question, sir. So, I noticed that the only client combination for each pillar, maybe there's a lot to do, but I'm seeing only Nimbus and Nethermind, Teku, and Vessel. Don't they have
Yes.
other combination, or will we want to add up ourselves?
No, 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 no. Like based on that one liner installer, that's like the
Yes, sir.
setup that has been configured. So when I was talking about your preference, I also made mention of that. I said for ePilot,
Okay.
those are like the only client configuration that they have. So you're restricted to what is available from the interface.
Okay.
So
Okay.
unlike stereo where you can pick from different like you have other client pairs. So
Okay.
that,
Okay. 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 I think it's making sense because I also noticed that for Stadium they don't have ephemery testnet, and then for its they have ephemery testnet. So it's like
yeah.
all these tools that we're using to run the nodes. It's like they have special client, maybe the client combination that they were designed to complement. I guess so.
Yeah, yeah. So these are different people working on different things. So it's just like maybe what they have interest in doing or what they feel like it's. So it's just open. You can actually contribute if you can do that on the EthPilot. You can fork the repo, do it yourself, and reach out to him, tell him what you've done, and yeah. So
Nice.
it's open source too. Basically, that's it.
All right, sir.
All right, so I think that's all for today. So thank you guys for your time and your
Yes, sir.
patience.
Quick one, sir. I have a question.
Okay, Casey.
So, what happens when you shut down the node? What happens? What
Like
happens to all
when,
the validator keys and the addresses that we put in there? They just all disposed or destroy or something.
so what do you mean by short? Is it that you off your system or
No, like I don't want to run the node on my system anymore.
okay? If you've staked, then if your system is no longer on, you'll be slashed. So that money that you put because you've not withdrawn, you've not exit from the network.
Okay,
Your
so
that's your 32 to be reducing.
so I'm still at the point where I'm still I'm yet to generate my validator keys. So does it mean I've staked or
No, you can generate your validator. I did generate my validator key even before staking, like before uploading or
okay? That
depositing
means at
the
this point I've not
32.
staked.
No, you've not staked yet.
Okay. That means I still have the option of shutting it down since I've not staked.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. But, for no,
Sorry, I didn't get that. What did you say?
because of my storage space.
Okay, okay. All right. No, no problem. It's okay. So guys, I think that's all for now. Good night, everyone, and see ya when next we meet.